The cover-up fooled no one. Fear drove away the last families. The village was left empty, taken over by weeds and shadows. On certain nights, lights still flicker in the black forest. The singing comes back on the wind. Evil was never defeated, only buried. I still have nightmares. Sometimes I see cloaked figures, sometimes burning eyes. I carry the darkness with me, a warning carved into my soul. There are places best left alone, where ancient evils still hunger. That night, around 2 a.m, a strange sound from the forest woke me up. I went outside, and from the hill above the house I saw a large circle of fire burning in the forest. Around it were a dozen figures in black hooded robes. Some carried staffs, and one held a bleeding lamb. They were making strange inhuman sounds. The black forest is one of them. If you hear whispers, turn around, run, because darkness always waits, and it's always hungry. Just a few days later, a 9-year-old girl went missing from the neighboring village. Her body was never found. People whispered that she was taken from the black forest. The police searched for days, but with no results. My grandmother then said, "It has started again. We thought they were gone, but evil has returned." The diary haunted me. Nightmares of the ritual, the shadow creature, troubled my sleep. One night, walking home, I saw it, 2 red glows in the darkness of the chapel. The thing from my dreams. In the old church of Saint Archangel Michael, I found manuscripts with strange symbols and texts in Latin and Old Slavonic. The name Veles kept appearing, along with drawings of 3 eyes and horns. The priest who served before the war was murdered in 1943, found crucified upside down at the altar. The crime was never solved. Tall and thin, watched me in silence. I was frozen, breathless, until it retreated back into the shadows. One night, I felt a presence in the room. The windows opened by themselves, the doors slammed shut. In the mirror, I saw a face that wasn't mine. Eyes without pupils, an elongated face, an open mouth full of black teeth. After that, every night I dreamed the same dream. I stand in a circle of ash, surrounded by figures in black hoods, and above them floats a creature with horns and bat wings, whispering to me, offering knowledge in exchange for my soul. I ran home terrified. My grandmother just hugged me and prayed. The entity was no longer confined to the forest. A few days later, the police raided a village house after an anonymous tip. They found black cloaks, ritual objects, and bones, small bones. The official story, a small isolated cult. Case closed. In 1999, the police raided an abandoned cabin deep in the forest. They found human bones, red cloaks, ritual symbols, animal remains, and drawings of devilish figures. 2 police officers left the force. One claimed that voices wouldn't let him sleep. Everything was covered up. A short article appeared in the media titled, "Police Uncover Satanic Gathering in Forest near Paraćin," but it was quickly removed. But everyone knew that the truth was deeper, darker. The whispers of the powerful silenced the whispers of darkness. Evil didn't disappear, it just hid. The silence of the village now was absolute, and the forest waited. A few weeks later, news spread. A young girl, Yelena, went missing near the forest. Search parties found nothing, as if the earth swallowed her. I remembered the ritual, the chanting, the smell of burning pine and something metallic. Old stories suddenly became real. Desperate for answers, I searched the abandoned church on the hill. In a hidden niche, I found the priest's diary, half in Old Slavonic, half in frantic Latin. He wrote about an ancient evil beneath the church, fed by fear and innocence, served by a cult in black robes, victims, rituals, a creature of shadow and smoke with burning eyes. The last entry, Consumptus estimated, devoured it. The truth was worse than any story. Evil was real, and it was hungry. The village's fear was justified. The whispers of the forest had a name, and now their victim too. That summer the air was stifling. The forest hummed with a strange silence. One restless night, I wandered to the edge of the forest and saw a flickering light deep among the trees. It wasn't a campfire, too deliberate, too rhythmic. Against my will, I crept closer. In a hidden clearing, a large fire burned. Hooded figures circled it, chanting in a language older than the village itself. The flame flashed green as a staff was raised. The air crackled with unnatural energy. I was paralyzed watching the ritual that felt ancient and wrong. Who were they? What were they summoning? The fear was primal, beyond reason. I remained hidden, breathless, as the chanting reached its peak, and the figures raised their hands to the sky. I finally escaped, shaken to my core. The whispers of the forest were real, and they were here. I will never be the same again. They call it the Black Forest. It's not just a name, but a warning. It looms over our forgotten village near Paraćin, casting shadows that never lift. Even in summer, the air is heavy, the silence unnatural. The old folks say the forest remembers and never forgives. Our childhood stories weren't fairy tales but warnings, whispers of darkness. Grandmothers spoke of lights in the trees, hooded figures, and a curse that emptied the village family by family. My name is Dušan. In the summer of 1997, I was 17 and didn't believe in curses. The village was my escape, but the forest presence was always there watching. Every year another house would empty. People said they left for work, but we knew they were fleeing the forest. The silence grew louder every summer. The old folks mumbled, "The forest calls them home." It was a blood-chilling sentence, a promise of a final, terrifying end. And that summer, the whispers grew stronger. Today, the Black Forest is completely abandoned. The houses are overgrown with weeds, and locals still insist that you shouldn't go there, especially around June 21st, the night of the summer solstice, when lights can still be seen from the forest and drums heard. I never went back. My life was ruined after that summer. I had mental health problems, attempted suicide, and now I'm sharing this story so no one else goes there.